Australia and Beyond Holidays and Go Fish Australia. We've got some fantastic products. I'd like to introduce Ange from Go Fish Australia. And she's going to talk to you about the amazing things you can do in Australia with a helicopter, including fishing, but plenty of other things. Over to you, Ange.
Thank you, Simon. Thanks for the opportunity. So Go Fish Australia is a pretty unique organisation where we create fishing experiences for both the tourists who visit Australia to the fishing fanatics who come here for this very reason. So we spend a lot of time and energy working out who the client is, what type of fishing they want, and what type of experience they want. So I've just got a few slides here that hopefully will explain a little bit more of what we do. A lot of what we do is in Queensland and the Northern Territory, because that's where the best fishing is in Australia. You can see from the map here, we don't have much in WA, but that's not to say we can't organise something there either. The Kimberleys is a very, very popular fishing destination, as is Darwin and the very north of Queensland, where you'll hear people want to catch barramundi, or they want to catch black marlin, or they want to do beach fishing, or they want to do all different types of fishing, fly fishing. Actually in New South Wales has some of the best, around the Kosciuszko region, has some of the best fly fishing in the world, and the North American market loves that area. So I'll go through a few of the packages we have. A lot of them are that sort of that mid to high end budget, but that's not to say we can't do things on a tight budget either. But for people wanting that bucket list fishing experience, it often it comes at a bit of an expense. So these are the ones that Go Fish have created. We do use a lot of helicopters. It just adds that little bit of excitement to a fishing trip. All of our experiences are led by our very own fishing guides, and we have hand selected our guides right across Australia to make sure that, number one, we're catching fish. That's the name of the game, is to catch fish. You can have the flashiest helicopter or the most expensive boat, but it is our job to make sure your clients catch a fish. So we use our network of fishing professionals across Australia. I also work very closely with a colleague who has been a fishing journalist for over 40 years. So if you have clients coming at any time of year, we know where to send them, what bait to use, the exact location we should put them at that exact time of year. So, running through some of these, we have a Dawn helicopter experience on Moreton Island, which is just next to Brisbane. Our one-day outback fishing experience is, again, leaves from Brisbane or the Gold Coast, and that takes people out into Western Queensland and Western New South Wales, where they meet a fishing guide out there and they're fishing for Murray cod. That actual experience was just listed in end of last year, was listed in the top 50 tours of the world by Traveller magazine. And we've just replicated that from Cairns as well. We haven't released it yet, but we've replicated that incredible outback fishing experience west of Cairns. We do a lot of heli fishing in Darwin and on the tip of Queensland, where it's very easy. It's so remote, so we can take off and land up to 6 times a day for fishing. Around Byron Bay, where a lot of guests stay, obviously not a huge fishing area, but we make sure we take people out in some form of fishing. And we found a beautiful piece of rainforest with a gorgeous creek that's full of platypus. So we've created that experience. But you'll see there, I won't go through them all, but we have the fishing experiences, but we can also package up with accommodation as well, depending again who the client is, or they can live on board the yacht for 4 or 5 days fishing. So I'll just move through the slides. These are my top 3. So when people travel within Australia or from overseas to Australia, they want to catch a marlin, a barramundi, or a Murray cod. That seems to be the top three that we get asked for quite commonly. And the locations that they are in is Cairns for your big black marlin, Darwin for your barramundi, and the Whitsundays is great for just a lot of reef fish. Generally speaking, Murray cod is always in western parts of the state, mostly New South Wales and Queensland. Yes, and the experiences we sell the most of are heli fishing, liverboard fishing, where all your meals and your accommodations taken care of, and we are very slowly producing more and more Indigenous fishing experiences for people who just want something a little different. Again, we work with very select suppliers right across Australia. So this is one of the yachts we use up in Cairns, and they can also travel to New Guinea in this vessel. That's actually me on the right-hand side of the helicopter. That's my photograph. That's heli fishing up in Cape York, where we landed on the water and we started fishing, and I caught a barramundi in that very creek. This is one of the liverboard yachts we use. This is MV Spirit. They are probably the high end. They're probably about $10,000 a day. That's all inclusive accommodation, all meals and all alcohol. So we use vessels like this quite often, but we also use smaller vessels to suit different budgets. But we absolutely make sure that the fishing guides on board are the best in the business. We use helicopters a lot, as I've said, and we are very particular about which companies we use, clearly, from the safety side of things. That's Brendan, one of our chopper pilots who does all sorts of crazy flying for us. That's actually taken approaching Moreton Island in Brisbane. We had a group of 10, so we used 2 choppers for that one. That's one of my fishing guides, and he loves his blue water fishing. We also have specialists in Western Queensland and Western New South Wales, and again right up and down the coast. That's Simon. Again, it depends on what the client wants, but we select the right yacht with the right fishing guide for the type of fishing they want to do. We also just recommend yachts, even if there's no fishing, would you believe? Because sometimes the views are just so incredible that they only just want a lovely yacht to loll around on. We do know where there's some very different and very unique styles of accommodation. We've had one of the richest people in Australia wanting to stay in a shack on a beach, and then we've had other people wanting, the Lizard Island and the casino style stays. So we can always recommend. Obviously, as travel agents, you can get some great rates on accommodation, but we kind of know where all the secret places are. Food and beverage is very important to us, very important. It's the style of fishing that we like to promote, where the food is excellent. Even if it's a barbecue on the beach, we make sure that we've got a great bottle of whiskey on hand. We have coffee machines that we have on the beach with actual proper coffee, depending on what time of day you're out there. But we always make sure that the food is excellent, of an excellent standard, and that's our point of difference, I guess, is the food and beverage have to be just 5-star in all sorts of environments as well. We have access to a lot of vehicles, whether it's 4-wheel driving on the beach. We can do tag along style. We use a lot of limousines and then a lot of just vans and beach buggies, I guess, to get people to very unique locations. Again, Indigenous fishing experiences. We do offer one up in East Arnhem Land at the moment. And again, we offer this also. We work with the Butchulla traditional owners of Fraser Island. We work with the Quandamooka traditional owners of Moreton Island and Stradbroke Island. And we work with the family of Nininkai up in East Arnhem. So our job is to nurture their product and get them involved in our adventures, because we just think it adds that fantastic element to any experience. I've just created a little Q&A here for everyone, and I'm sure you can refer back to this at any time you like. A lot of people don't know about phishing, and we say, look, you don't need to. We're in the background directing the questions for you, suggesting things for your clients, whether you have those phishing fanatics or whether you just have people wanting to try something while they're here. You just rely on us. We can give you anything, images, everything unbranded to make it look like that you guys know what you're doing. Again, how will I know what to book? That's our job. It depends on what time of year they're coming over. It depends, what their budget is, and we will guide you, and your clients will be none the wiser. Again, where do I send them? That depends on what time of year it is. Obviously, fishing is very seasonal, and for great fishing, the summer months are probably the best time of year for fishing all over Australia. Again, best time of year is, you can leave that up to us. But if your clients have booked something already, booked flights, then we work around that, and we make sure that we find them a great location. The North Americans are a really big market for us, as are people from the UK and Europe and Japan. And they all fish slightly differently. So we understand how different nationalities fish. The Japanese, for instance, will just want to catch a certain species and get in and out of the country quickly, where the North Americans will want to do it properly and stay and look at the region, and we can package up things for them to do, wherever they are. So that's Go Fish in a nutshell. All this information will be online for you, but it explains how we work and what we do a little bit more than what I've explained here. And we can create itineraries. There's one here I'll leave you with. A group of six men said they're cold. They want to experience warm water fishing. Within 3 days, we created an itinerary that was $20,000 each. That was the budget, which is very high end, obviously, budget. And we used exclusively private jets and helicopters to get them around. And we made sure that